I don't use the word masterpiece often, but Slotherhouse? Yeah, I got you. I would never use that word to describe Slotherhouse. You just heard the name of it. Do you know what it's even about? Before my attitude gives it away, let's discuss real quick an overview of the plot. Reminder, I will try not to give you any spoilers. I'm just reading a synopsis pretty much of the movie. Okay? A girl in a sorority decides to adopt a pet to help her chances at becoming president of her sorority. That pet is a sloth. That's as far as I'm going to go into it, okay? No spoilers. You can probably guess from the name what happens, but that's up to you. But let's talk about the movie kind of as a whole. And then I'll tell you, my pros and cons and my personal and movie critic review of it. And we'll both be on our merry way. So let's first start with um, the movie wants to be what Scary Movie was, a sincere farce, to the extreme farce, sarcastic, satirical, all the above. It tries to play into every single stereotype and generality that we have seen in horror movies, and it does so very, very well. So annoyingly well that it kind of pisses you off sitting in the theater. Yes, I laughed the whole time at the absurdity of the movie because it is utterly absurd, but it nails what it wants to accomplish. For everything I'm going to say about this movie, it nails that. But where the movie really falls short, and this is where I'm going to talk about the cons, it shouldn't be a movie. Scary Movie, I think, had a place in time, and it did reasonably well, if I remember correctly. This movie is going to utterly flop. I know the budget couldn't have been much, but the movie's going to flop. Hell, I didn't even think I was going to be able to find it in theaters, and the fact that it came to my theater is saying something. But whatever, let's get back on track. The movie actually looks really, really good. I mean, camera wise, like cinematography wise, it's very high quality. You can tell that, it's a step above sci fi Sharknado or Lake Placid or any of those awful science fiction. I don't even know science shit movies. It honestly is shot very well, which makes it all the more jarringly funny that the movie itself is this farce of sorority life and making fun of literally everything. Sloths, sororities, college. Truly is very, very funny. You laugh at the absurdity of the movie the entire time. But even the laughing cannot distract you from just how utterly bad this film is. Like, it is very good at what it wants to be, but that doesn't make it a good movie. My reviews are going to be based on movie critically. I will give it a more apt rating. Personally, I will tell you how I felt. But let's get back to it. And to be a low budget, right? This is not a masterpiece. There's no way they're throwing big bucks at this. So no matter what, they did a good job with their budget. They couldn't track down a number. I'm assuming it's incredibly low, but they did a good job with it. And like I said, the absurdity of it all, you laugh. I mean, it gets more and more absurd, and it's funny. Like, legitimately, everyone in the theater, all seven of us, laughed the whole time. You are actually shrugging to yourself, like, holy shit, am I actually sitting in a theater watching this? And thank goodness I did, because I would have assumed it was a fever dream, because this movie does not deserve to exist on the planet. In reality, if we're talking about the cons, though, the movie is really bad when the sloth is not on the screen. Like, when it is just the sorority house and those characters, it's passable. It's just enough to get you to the next sloth scene. The sloth is hella funny, man. I mean, just the idea, the concept of this sloth being around, it is so funny. In the shit this sloth does and goes through, man, you gotta feel for him. Obviously, the movie is shot well, but I didn't really tell you that the sloth is a puppet. Okay, obviously, right? But it's not CGI. It's a puppet, and he crushes. I mean, this shit is funny. Just the fact that it is a puppet in this movie, I actually think makes the movie better and more passable. You've got to give credit to anyone who decides to put a puppet in a movie that's not the Muppet. And the puppeteer, whoever he is out there, you crushed it, man. You deserve better work. You maneuvering this three-toed sloth is enough to give it almost a passing grade for me. And with that, let's dive into the final reviews. Movie critically, the movie's like a 4 or 5. You know, you have to rate it for what it is, but even then, it's rough. It is. It's rough, and it doesn't. I'm not taking away from it by giving it that low of a rating. Okay, we'll just settle on 5. We'll give it a 5. Personally, it's like a 2. It's awful, but at the same time, it's like a 9. It's so perfect. I mean, they nail the stereotypes of literally everything. Props to them. It was funny as hell. So absurdly stupid that I cannot believe I spent money to go see it, but I would do it again. It's very, very, very funny. I'm not sure anyone here will want to watch that, but if you have the chance, you should subject yourself to the 2 hours of torture that it is and go watch it. Because from the minute you sit down, you are going to regret being there. But then once you finish watching it, you are telling yourself that you're honestly not even telling yourself, you're coping that it was okay. In reality, it's funny, and you should probably watch it if it comes on TV. It'll be on the Sci-Fi Channel in a month, guarantee it. But either way, that is the Slotherhouse review. We'll have better reviews hopefully next week. We'll go see Blue Beetle and Gran Turismo. And until then, see you there.